Hello, Florence.
Hi, Bettina.
Hi. Hi, welcome also to everyone joining us, by the way. Sorry for our Culture Vulture conversations today. I thought, when you grew up, Florence, was it that you had the feeling that you as a minority, because eventually you realized you were the only Black person in the environment that you grew in, had to adapt more than others adapted to you? So that you as a minority had to adapt to majority?
Yes, absolutely. So that's also what my mom always said. She always said, look what the people will say, or be aware of what the people might say. Yeah. So I really had to adapt to the people's behavior, to the culture, to everything they do, so that I don't stick out in a negative way. Yeah. And this was something I did throughout my youth. And I had the feeling that I guess I told you once in one of our conversations that I had the feeling I had a kind of invisible cloak over myself, so that the people don't notice that I'm Black. Not that I wanted to be white, not that, but I didn't want the people to notice I'm different, I'm Black.
Like a protection in a way?
It was a kind of protection, and I just didn't want to stick out negatively. I didn't want the people to say anything or to have a reason to talk negatively about me. Yeah. So that I always tried to be perfect in a way that I always tried to do what I thought they wanted me to do.
All right.
Right.
Yeah. So do you think that's a thing still, that minorities have to adapt to majorities mainly and assimilate in a way that their normal use of the language or the expression of their tradition or other social norms are completely lost and they kind of lose their identity? Did you have that feeling?
So let me start with the last thing. Losing the identity is unhealthy. That's not good. Yeah. So no one shall lose their own identity. But what I was also raised with is the sentence, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I do think, and I traveled a lot. When I was in China, I can't tell the people, okay, I'm now from Germany and you have to adapt to what I think is okay for you. Yeah. So when I was in China, of course, I looked, how do they do things? Yeah. When we went into temples or something, or churches or whatever, what is common here? Yeah. So of course, I as a minority had to adapt to the majority. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that at home I wasn't allowed to have a Christmas tree or eat that's something stupid, but
Whatever.
let me say it, eat my sauerkraut, with my sausages, for example, so live my German life, that doesn't mean that, but still I have to look, where am I? What is normal here, or what are the people used to? And what am I allowed to do without being disrespectful to the culture that is lived in that certain country? And this is something I asked myself to do. It's something I asked my child to do. And it is, for me, something very normal. When I go abroad, I have to look, what are the customs there?
But how do you see it in general? I mean, this is the description of still you adapting or fitting into a culture. What about the culture you lived in? Would you have expected that they, meet you halfway maybe?
Because of the way I was raised, I would say no. I didn't expect anyone to meet me halfway. So I said I didn't, because now it's a bit different. Of course, I want people to see each other and to be aware of what is good for the other person. So, for example, let me take language. Of course, I know that in the German language, there are lots of words from which the people say, I was raised with these words. And back that time, these words weren't racist, but now they are. Yeah, or disrespectful or discriminating. Yeah, but now they are. And now I expect from the people to reflect on their language and not to say, well, but you are in Germany as a black person and you have to adapt to our words and languages we say. Yeah, so there I think we have to meet halfway. Or not only halfway. When something is racist and negative, please, I mean, you can say it if you want to, but I will react how I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is not only something that has to do with cultural differences, but also with individual differences.
Yeah, absolutely. But the ideal would be the minority group learns to navigate majority systems. If someone lives in a different country, I had to do that in France. But in the way that you understand how things work, how things are done there, but also that the majority learns to widen their definition of what is normal in a way, and then also accept that that you bring something to the table, that you add something to their culture. And by that also they question their biases, right? They adjust their practices maybe. That would be an ideal situation when we talk about adaptation of cultures or
Yeah,
cultures.
you know, I mean, we talk about cultural differences now, yeah? And if the people don't want me to bring anything to the table from my culture, it's okay, I have to live with that. But when we talk about majority and minorities, it's not only about culture. I just thought about we have 10 people in a team, and one person has to use a wheelchair. Yeah. So the other 9 people, they say, we want to do a team building situation and just let's go onto that mountain. And the one person in the wheelchair is, for example, not able to climb that mountain. So there, of course, the majority has to adapt to the minority. So I always think we have to always look, what topic is it that we talk about?
The situation specifically. Yes, absolutely. I think if we also think that, do we want people to fit in or to add in? With that question, if we approach the topic, then the answer is probably quite obvious every time.
Yes.
And also for the case, I love that you brought that into the discussion, the case that you just mentioned with one person who is in a wheelchair. So yeah, maybe we end with that. Do we want people to fit in, give themselves up, or do we want people to add in and bring theirs to the table, and then we work together on whatever comes up?
That's right.
Right. Then thank you for your thoughts, for your insight today.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Florence. I look forward to seeing you again.
Yes. So bye-bye to everyone.